My name's Kathy A, and today I thought I'd go over some of my August favorites and flops. Been very busy this month. We actually decided to go with a different apartment, and we're working out the particulars of that right now. Our sale has been extended out. The buyers requested an extension for the mortgage, so it's complicating things a little bit. We're finding that looking for an apartment is actually harder than it was when we were looking for our house. So it's been stressful, and we did have a nice little break there, and I don't know if you saw it, but I did go to a Star Trek convention up in New York, and that really took a lot of the stress out of our lives for a little while anyway. We're still not sure exactly where we're going to be or if the house is actually going to sell, so we're in that kind of weird position, and any of you who have been through this know what I'm talking about. But you know, in the broad spectrum of what's going on in the world right now and in the United States, this is such a minor thing, it really is. Anyway, so I think I'll start with some gadgets because there were a few things that came up, and one of them is Marshall's has been, and TJ Maxx have been coming out with different copycat kind of items, and this is the copycat. It's called Clean Sweep, and it's actually the copycat of the color switch, which you can get, which is a little bit more pricey, but you can see there is a difference in the two. The cheapy one is actually kind of a very larger pigmented thing. It's much like the beauty blenders that are fake ones are not quite the same density and feel as a real one. It's the same thing with this. It did work okay, but not as well as the Clean Sweep. And of course, it's very similar to just using one of those little Dollar Tree hair buns, which you can just wipe your brush off on that, and it works really nicely. So, you know, like this. It's like a dry brush cleaner. So it was okay, it wasn't that great. Glitzy Fritzy is having a sale right now, and I think it's ending on the 5th. So this is something, and I love her packaging. She's so good. She has a little online store. I will link that below. I just got a couple pairs of earrings from her. This is the first pair, which I'll just show you. It's just so cool for autumn time. Isn't that great? Autumn time? Dope. And then I have this one, which is the gold leaf. Again, beautiful for autumn time. And actually, I'll just put those on. I think it's 30% off, and I'll put the little code below that you can use to get 30% off. I love Glitzy, and you know, we can always use your support on our channels, and Glitzy has some finances to take care of, and so it would be really helpful if you guys would check her out, check out her store. She has makeup for sale, she has jewelry for sale, and very inexpensive. And with the sale, these are really very affordable. So this is something that I totally recommend. So Glitzy Fritzy's the store, and I think it's Jewel 30 or 30 Jewel. Well, anyway, I'll put it in there correctly down below in the description bar. So I always look at this time of year, I always like looking at the different fashion magazines just so I can sort of keep up with what the trends are and things like that. And I don't know if any of you feel this way, but I cannot relate to most of the fashion I am seeing nowadays. And look at this one. She looks like she raided the UPS store. It's hello? Look at this one. It looks like pajamas or something. Oh my gosh. And you know, when it doesn't even look good on the model, you know it's probably not going to look too great on you either. I mean, these nice sweaters, these Danish looking sweaters, very 1970s, but you know, and the yellow boot, oh my god. This is like, to me, it's like a total fashion faux pas. Look at this little number. This looks like, I don't know, you remember those sauna suits that came out in the 80s? You put them on and you would sweat in them and you could lose weight faster. That's what this reminds me of. And she's looking so like fierce with it, like, ugh. I mean, wow. But this one too, this one just blew me away. Yeah, these are from major magazines. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It looks like she took her sleeping bag and wrapped it around her and then took a walk downtown. I mean, oh my gosh. And then with this one, and then this one, she looks like she's wore her pajamas out. Oh my gosh. But I get a kick out of Gucci is doing this. You see that? They're using the transporter from the Star Trek set, so I thought that was kind of clever for their fashion things. And they do look like out of aliens. They do look like aliens. So anyway, that was my little trip through the fashion world. For drugstore skincare, I had seen, I think it was Shake Up Makeup, and she was talking about this, that she had seen on another channel, and I think it was Dr. Dre or somebody. This is the Veni Cream Cleanser, absolutely phenomenal. This is probably my favorite cleanser right now. And you can find this in the drugstore. It runs probably around $8 to $12 depending on where you're getting it, where you're located. I'm finding locations in cities and in towns, pricing is a little bit different, but Veni Cream. This is a gentle facial cleanser. It's wonderful, it really is. On my vacation, I brought a lot of little items that I thought would be helpful. My lip wine wipes, of course, are phenomenal. I love these, and what I found that works very similar to them is this e.l.f. lip conditioner thing. You put a little on, you rub it in, you take it off with some tissue, and it takes any stains off of your lips from like dark red lipstick or wine or dark red, like Kool-Aid, if you're drinking something with a lot of food color that's red or purple. This takes it off, and this is only, I think this is only $1. And my wine wipes, of course, which I can't find anymore since I talked about them. They're sold out everywhere at all the TJ Maxx's that I go into, but I think they have these on Amazon. Wine wipes, they're called. They're, you know, when you get, like, if you have chapped lips and you drink some red wine and you get all that mangy looking dark spots on your lips, these take it right off. You just rub it in there and then just put a little water and pat dry, and your lips are smoothed out and beautiful, and there's no stains. So I just can't speak more highly of a product than this. Has been one of my favorite products this year. I have been enjoying, I was talking about these Storybook brushes. I have been enjoying the contour one the most, and I have been putting on my contour, my blush, and I was using the top part to just put a little bit of the highlight on it. It works really, really well. So these are really nice. The brushes do slightly shed. So I was looking online at Amazon, and there is a set of these that's half price, and you get 6 of them. This is 4, and I believe they're $54, and then they charge a lot for shipping. They charge like $8 for shipping. So the only difference between the ones in Amazon and the ones from Storybook is that these have an S embossed in one of the leaves. So, you know, if you're really into having the brand name, but the whole concept of this is just so cute. You wind up using it like this though, because it's so weighted here, you can't really go like this. You actually will go like this. It gives you a lot of control, and it's a very, very soft brush. Speaking of brushes, Real Techniques came out with a set that I'm loving, because these are hard to find. These small little nubby kind of brushes. Let me just pull this out here. And you get a bonus pencil sharpener with these as well. Yeah, that's a bonus pencil sharpener for a small pencil, not for the really big ones. But I have two sets of these because they're so good. But you can see that they're very, very small. And I like this for smudging under the eye, and I like this for actually lining with shadow under the eye. And this is a great smudger. It's also good for putting the makeup on, you know, just in the crease area before you smudge it out. It's a really good set of two from Real Techniques, and you get the bonus little sharpener. I'm always going through sharp. I tried this because I had heard a lot of good things about it. This is the Bylines Foundation from It Cosmetics, and I've given it quite a lot of chances, and it's just not working for me. It's a very pretty serum, and it initially goes on very nice, this makeup, but unfortunately it doesn't last very long, and after a few hours when I looked in the mirror, it was one of those cases where it didn't look like I had any makeup on at all, and it was like, okay. And it did kind of bunch up around my nose, and my pores were showing badly. So the Bylines, maybe it blurred the lines a little bit, but it didn't last very long, so this one's going back actually. I was quite surprised because I used the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, and I really like it. It's just a very beautiful shade bronzer. It's a very light color, so it goes really nicely, especially if you're really fish belly white like me. It's a very, very pleasant, smelling like coconut thing. They came out with a line of blushes, and this is just so pretty and so subtle. And it has that same beautiful scent to it of coconut. And I think Physicians Formula is always, they're talc-free, they're a healthy makeup to use. It's slightly smaller than the bronzer. It does come with its own sponge, which is kind of weird. It's a sponge applicator, a two-sided sponge applicator. So you can smear it. It looks very nice. Let me just put a little on here. It's a very subtle color. Some people may not like that, but I think it's wonderful, and it has that coconut scent. So it will remind you of summer now that we're getting winter coming soon. Any of you who watched Game of Thrones know that it was quite an exciting week last week. And I'm not going to do any spoilers, but holy cow. Oh my gosh. For primers, I did want to try this because it was a hot summer day, and this is the Hard Candy Coconut Water Primer. It's actually a stick primer, and when you put it on, it almost feels like you're putting a silky ice cube on your skin. It's extremely cooling, so if it's a very, very hot day, this is a wonderful primer. There is a slight scent to it. It's slight perfumey scent. It dissipates right away, and then it dries down to a dry finish. So I like this so far, and it's working under the foundations I've been trying anyway this past month. So this is the Hard Candy Coconut Water Primer, and it's very inexpensive, so I'm always looking for inexpensive options. Jane Iredale, finally they have sent me something promo, and this is how you would normally receive something from Jane Iredale. She always includes a sprig of lavender, and that's a real sprig of lavender in with her stuff. It's always nicely wrapped. I had unwrapped it, so it wasn't quite so nice, but this is part of their new fall line. And they have an eye palette, a blush, and I think there are 2 lipsticks as well. The blush I am absolutely loving. It's called Clearly Pink, It's extremely pigmented. It lasts all day. Beautiful packaging, as always, the rose gold packaging with Jane Iredale. And it's just a pretty basic pink. And I can show you. You can build it up if you want, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful pink. And I really like this a lot. Called Clearly Pink from Jane Iredale. And of course, she has formulated everything so that it can safely be applied to your skin even after surgery. Her line was developed with that in mind, that it was safe for post-surgery, and after she had laser treatment done, she actually had a before and after picture done with her using her own mineral makeup. So this is a wonderful product. The eyeshadow palette, it's called Naturally Glam, and again, a beautiful gold, rose gold case. Now these shades are all kind of shimmery shades, and you do get a double-ended sponge tip applicator. I will just swatch them for you so you can see. The base is a very, very shimmery ivory color. And then we have this one. And what I did when I put this on, I actually used another palette to have some matte going on, because you can't really do an eye look, especially for an older face, using just shimmers. And this is definitely a shimmer palette. All of the shades are shimmery, but they're beautiful. And I really enjoyed this particular one, this darker one, which is more matte than the others. So there are your shades. There you go. There are your shades. And it makes a really pretty eye, especially I lined underneath my eye with this color, this one here, which was absolutely beautiful. Underneath the eye, just add just a touch of shimmer, and it was a bronze. Is a beautiful mirror in the compact as well. And I think coupling this with a base white matte shade for your base, and then just a neutral matte crease, you can add these to really accentuate and make a glamorous look with it. So I was really impressed with these shadows. I thought they were very nice, but what I also did with them is I took this, and you can make a nice highlighter for your face with it. So I thought that was kind of a nice bonus with that. I have enjoyed this. This was a sample that was sent to me, and this is the Milk Blur Stick. And it is a very nice, it's a matte feeling primer that you can put on. You can put it on with your fingers. I draw it on first, and then I kind of blend it in with my fingers so the heat of my hand will blend it in. Works really nicely under makeup. I especially liked it on my nose, where I have large pores on my nose. This seemed to take care of it quite well. And these Milk products have been getting a lot of good reviews, I noticed, across the board, from oily skin folks and dry skin folks. So we'll see how some of their other products spend. I started trying Benefit again. I haven't tried them in a while, and this is the Boing Concealer. It has a moisturizer strip in it. It looks like a bullet shell case. Really? And you can see it's kind of like a concealer with a border of moisturizer around it. So you do get a little bit of a concealer and a lot of moisturizer. It's extremely greasy. So I know a lot of you who have dry skin are not going to like that. What did I just do? Oh, I just put the eyeshadow on. Let me just wipe this off so I can put it on. You can see what it does. Okay, I'm just going to take this in. Now it's extremely greasy, but those of you who are like me and have very dry skin, especially around your nose, are going to like that because it's very, very hydrating. So I did like this as far as being hydrating goes. You do need to set it with some kind of light powder, I think, because it's just a little too greasy. So I'm sure that's been the complaint from the younger folks because they have oily skin. Milani came out with these kind of variety pack highlighter, blush, and contour. And you really have to, let me just take them in different sections. I found them to be a little on the blotchy side, and the highlighter was kind of strange. You can see right there. The bronzer wasn't quite bronzy enough for me, and the pinks together weren't too bad, but you know, you could make kind of a pretty blush with it, but it wasn't very strong, and it disappeared almost immediately. It was like, where to go? And so, and it's also, there's not enough color in here to make a good face look. It's just not worthy. It's just not worthy. Let me just put a little here on the darker pink here. It doesn't last. Disappeared by lunchtime. I couldn't see it anymore, and it's very, very shiny. So that's not always a good look, especially if you have a lot of facial wrinkles and crepiness. You don't want to do that. So that was a fail. Also a fail was something from MAC, and I wanted to try this because I thought a palette from MAC would be kind of fun. This is the Prissy Princess one, and there's a series, I think, of 3 or 4 of these that just came out. And what it is a blush and eyeshadows. And this is actually more of a highlighter than a blush because it's just very, very shiny. So, I mean, you could use all of these colors as eyeshadows and then just use this as a accentuator. Let me see if it works, like right there. Yeah. This received high marks from a lot of people, so I'm probably alone in my thinking of this, but this disappointed me. I didn't like the formulation. The color combination was too bland, and so this is going to go back. And this, for some reason online, this looked darker. I thought it was going to be more of a blush, and it's actually just really a highlighter. And this is a nice, very nice, dark, charcoal looking color, charcoal brownish color. So, no, this was just not, there wasn't enough here, it wasn't a good transfer, there wasn't a good base, but I mean, this main shadow was quite nice. This did receive good marks from other people, and again, maybe I'm just too picky, but it just didn't do it for me. And that was the Prissy Princess. And there actually are 2 other color combinations under different names, but they're the same idea. I don't know, the formulas just didn't do it for me. I did add to my Viseart collection, and I thought I would just add one every month, so until I had them all. This is the Bridal Satins, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Bridal Satins. That's just one swatch. When you use a palette like this and then you try something like Subculture, which was a total fail, you know, you can shear this out, you can use it as a highlighter as well as an eyeshadow. All of these colors blend together and they hold their color. So if you put a color on your eye, you're going to see it. Absolutely. It doesn't fade off or get muddy or anything else, and I think that's why Viseart shadows have been a favorite of many YouTube beauty folks. I was late to the party because the price point just threw me. I couldn't justify spending that. But once you try them, you could actually, if you had nothing but Busy Art shadows, you can make beautiful different eye looks every day and be so happy with it. But because I'm always on a quest to find cheap, new, something unusual, I continue to buy other palettes. The NYX, this is a NYX eyebrow gel, and the idea is that you put a little gel down, and then you take a brow brush, and then you can, you know, kind of like draw in your brows with it using your own brush of choice and the brow gel. Now it does give you enough time to work with it so that you can, you know, build it, and then you can brush it up so that you have a natural looking brow, and it just dries to a kind of a waxy finish, so it does hold its shape. I don't know, I'm on the fence because it is very messy, but this is the NYX eyebrow gel. You have to use your own brush with it, and I always use like a double-ended brush. I did want to try CoverGirl Outlast because it's been a long time since I've tried them, and I think these are new colors. The idea behind this system is that you take the matte liquid lip and you put it on and you wait for it to dry, and then you coat over the top of it with the lip gloss. And what happens is this really stains and holds onto your skin, but the payout, it's very strong, but it dries your lips so much. The other side is a gloss that you would put over the top of it once it's dry. And let me just show you the gloss. Together they work really well, but again, your lips do get dry and chapped if you use this more than a few days in a row. It's disappointing, but I mean, it does work, and it works. These two work really well together. I missed this eyeshadow because it looked like a lipstick, and I had it with my lipsticks. This is Neutrogena, and this is a it's a pop-up cream lipstick. And this dries into kind of a powder finish. Let me just bring it right on up here. And it's from Neutrogena. It's new. It worked really well, and it stays all day. And this color is called Lasting Taupe. Lasting Taupe. And it does last really well. And I also used a brush and put it on there, and then just put it underneath my eye about halfway down, and it works really well for that as well. So those Neutrogena cream eyeshadow sticks. But I had two nail polishes I absolutely love. One is Orly, and this is the color Shimmering Mauve. Isn't that beautiful? I always like Orly nail polishes. They are fairly safe to use, and they are cruelty-free, which is nice. Now the Sally Hansen, this is the Miracle Gel, and it's called Shimmer. It's got 3 like S's in front of the word shimmer. This was my favorite nail polish all summer long. This was my absolute favorite. Now I tried a couple of mascaras, and I was slightly disappointed, and this was one called Monsieur Big from Lancome, and I don't know, it just didn't work for me at all, and it gave me dings on the top of my eyes when it was really hot and humid, and I just didn't like the way it went on. I think it's a very messy brush, and I don't know why they're making a big deal out of it, because it did make kind of big honking lashes, but it just was so messy, and it left, you know, like little dingy lines and smudges. So this is definitely a fail for me. I did not like it at all. I'm still enjoying my Dior Pump and Volume, which is right now one of my top mascaras. Now in the drugstore end, Revlon has the Ultimate All-in-One Mascara, and I think this is new for them. They have 3 new ones. They're all in the same shape, which is similar to the shape that they have for their lipstick. This is really nice mascara. I was surprised. It's a tiny little wand that is slightly curved, and it makes it so easy to get it on your lashes, especially your lower lashes and in the corner. I always think the smaller the wand, the easier it is to put mascara on without getting it all over the place, because mascara is really awful when you get it, you know, splotched on your eye, because then you screw up your eye makeup or you screw up your face makeup. But I do like this one. It's the red one. It says All-in-One, and that's the Revlon Ultimate All-in-One Mascara. So that was a win. I have received another PR item, and this was going back and forth now for 3 months. This is Yode, and Yode it's a beautiful box. My goodness, it has a little drawer in it that comes out. One of my friends said, great pot box. Put your lighters in there. And anyway, Yode. This is a beautiful, beautiful watch. They are made out of sourced woods from around the world, and it's wooden watches. And what's so cool about this is they give you some tung oil as well. It comes with a little tag on it. Look at the wood. It's so beautiful. And wooden accessories are kind of popular right now. They had asked me to do part of their spring promotion, and actually as part of that, and I don't know if you can see this, but they engraved my name on here. Can you see that? KathyAayBeauty. And it's a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous wood. Now they come unsized, so when you put it on, it's actually quite large. You actually will need to go to a jeweler to have it, you know, sized to your particular wrist. It's got beautiful Swiss movements inside, and there is quite an assortment of these. I decided not to do the promo with them, and I'm returning the watch, but it was really nice. It's just not my thing, and I don't really want to do a whole video just on something I'm not really that crazy about. My husband didn't even want this, and he, I think it looks a little more masculine. So anyway, Yode is the name, and wooden watches, really, really stylish. Coming up for the holidays, you get the tung oil, you get nice cloth, a beautiful box, and it is just, this is a great gift. So coming up for birthdays or holidays. So, I do like it. I think it's kind of interesting. I'm sending it back to them. I'm not keeping it, but I thought it was a really interesting and unique item. This is the Game of Thrones wine. This is from a vineyard in California. The guy is a huge Game of Thrones fan, and he has a whole series of these wines. I totally recommend the red. This is the red blend. It's a very soft wine. It's got a nice finish. I love it. I love wine, and this is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I did try the Chardonnay as well. I will be trying a few of the other wines that they have, and of course the bands are the same bands that are in that spiral thingy, that is in the beginning of the show, the intro. They show pictures from that, and they are actually on the bands here, and I think that it's just gorgeous. And I'm keeping the bottle to, put flowers in or a candle or something, because it's just so nice. But that's Game of Thrones wine, and that was a real big hit this summer. That was quickly gone. Well, I'm not sure if this is the last video I'm doing from this location, but I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. Take care, everybody. Toodles.